These are some conspiracy theories that are going absolutely viral on TikTok right now. I love TikTok. It's probably my favorite platform to exist. Sorry. If it ever actually goes away, I will be truly devastated, honestly. Like, I don't know. Like, reels and shorts, they just don't hit the same, you know? But I love TikTok, and you guys tag me in and send me so many different great conspiracy theories that you find on TikTok. I just think TikTok is the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy content. It's great. So without further ado, let's get into the TikToks. All right, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks lately about this celebrity plastic surgery / clones, doppelgangers, whatever you really want to call it, but it's essentially the idea that celebrities die and then are replaced with a lookalike. This has not been anything new, but there is an interesting new take. So this has been a theory that's been going around for literally ever. I'm sure you've heard of it with Avril Lavigne. People think that she's secretly her doppelganger named Melissa, and the same thing with Paul McCartney from the Beatles. Everyone thinks that he was replaced with a lookalike or a clone, and honestly the list keeps going on. Kanye West, there's a lot of people who are speculated to be cloned. It's basically the idea that these celebrities die and then are replaced with a lookalike, and they just kind of write it off as getting plastic surgery, and that's why they look so different. It's honestly a very interesting theory. I kind of think that this could have some truth to it, and the reason why is because Suzanne Collins, who is the author of the Hunger Games series, she released a new book called Sunrise on the Reaping, and it kind of described this theory to a T. So it basically follows a 16-year-old Haymitch, the same one from the Hunger Games, and there's like kind of this subplot in the book that's gotten conspiracy theorists really talking, and it involves a tribute named Luella. So Luella dies in like a freak chariot crash. Like, it's a very sad thing that happens, and a lot of people see it, like people know she's dead before the Hunger Games even began, and obviously this would be a PR nightmare for the Capitol. So basically they bring in a body double, a girl named Lulu, who looks close enough to pass for Luella, and then they drug her into submission and then surgically alter her to make more like the original Luella, and then present her to the public as if nothing ever happened. And the reason that this is so interesting to me is because Suzanne Collins has actually very much been in the Hollywood spotlight for a while. She's definitely worked on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, probably before you even knew that the Hunger Games existed. Like, obviously with that there comes like the books and the movies from that entire franchise, which I'm sure she learned a lot about Hollywood from there. But she also worked on Nickelodeon in the 1990s. She was a writer on the show Clarissa Explains It All, and again, she's worked with people like Dan Schneider, which opens up another door to people in this industry who have dark conspiracy theories surrounding them. So basically where Suzanne Collins comes into this entire clone doppelganger theory is that because she saw like some of the inner workings of Hollywood, she noticed that there were definitely situations where people died and were replaced with a lookalike, and that's why she wrote it into her book. I don't know, okay? I don't know. I certainly think this is an interesting theory overall, and I'm not sure that I believe it, because like I said before, I don't believe Avril Lavigne is like a clone. Like, I don't know who the hell Melissa is, but at the same time, there are certain situations where this could be possible, and it's weird that someone who was involved in, you know, some of the dark pits of Hollywood, like Nickelodeon, and like working with Dan Schneider, wrote this book. Is all I'll say. Like, I just think that's interesting, and could it be a nod to what's actually going on? Who knows? All right, the next TikTok theory I want to talk about is about vampires running the nightlife in New York City / LA. I don't know, okay? I saw this TikTok and I thought it was interesting.
Apparently there's vampire lairs or secret societies operating out of nightclubs, like after hours in Brooklyn. I wasn't planning on posting this week because I'm in Florida, so I've just been posting for my drafts, but this story is too good. So this actress slides into my DMs, and sometimes I've gotten messages from people and I look at them and I'm like, oh, you've seen my stuff. And this was one of those cases, like, because I absolutely knew who she was. I wouldn't say that she's like huge, but like I knew her, and I'm not a big movie person. But she slides in my DMs and she's like, I'm comfortable enough sharing this now because other people apparently have been talking about this. And she's like, I have to tell somebody about this. I have to know that, I have to let people know that this is a thing. So she was in New York. She doesn't live there, but she was in New York last year for an event, and she's rubbing elbows with all these people that are way more famous than her. And this one actress who's like an A-lister comes up to her and says, I'm a really big fan of this last movie that you did. And so she's talking because she's starstruck, because she's like, this woman is like, has, influenced my childhood. And so she's like kind of attached to her wagon to this lady for the whole night because she's just there with work people. And this other lady ends up saying, like, as this event ends ending, hey, there's this other place like we can go to. I think you should see it. I think you'd be really into it. And so she's like, okay. So she goes with this woman. They take this woman's private car or whatever to this part of Brooklyn where she says even the cabs don't go. I don't really know what that means. I don't really go to New York a lot. So she goes with this woman, and she said it was basically a warehouse. Like, there was no windows. They get to this warehouse that looks like there's nothing going on. There's no cars or anything parked outside. There's just like a chain link fence, nondescriptive place, right? But if you've seen that Hollywood Tunnels video about that influencer that went to the after party with that influencer, and there was like, they took tunnels in Hollywood to get there. It kind of reminds me of that, like where they ended up going, because she said it was just basically a warehouse. They get inside, there's security or whatever, and they tell her, you know, we can't, there's people here, you can't take any videos, you can't take any photos, like you have to turn off your phone. So she's like, okay, whatever, because she's like just trying to get in with this lady. They go in, she said it was set up like a nightclub, like she thought it was a nightclub, like an after hours type place, because there's different levels, there's all these like booths. She said there were cocktail servers waiting around, there was a DJ, but he wasn't playing like club or house music, he was playing like this very low like beat, and it was just it was permeating the whole space. You could hear it everywhere, but it wasn't intrusive. So she goes and she sits down with this woman, and she said that she recognized a bunch of people right off the bat. Like she was like, holy crap, like I'm in this area with all these people. There's cocktail servers walking around, and the cocktail server walks up to her and says, oh, do you want some of this? And it's a red liquid in a crystal glass. And she's like, she thinks it's wine. So she's not drinking because she's preparing for this new role. So she says, oh, is that wine? And the A-lister of this Golden Globe actress that she's with says, don't ask too many questions, like just take one. And she's like, oh, I'm not drinking right now. And she says, no, it's not alcohol, just take one. And she's like, no, I'm good. The lady that she's with seems upset that she's not going to drink it, but she's like, okay, whatever. So they walk over and they're talking to some director or producer, somebody big that she's trying to impress, and they're talking, and another guy that is there that she doesn't know comes up in the middle of the conversation and tries to bite her neck. And she's like, what are you doing? Who is this guy? And nobody else bats an eye. They're just like, oh, just go with it. Just be like water, go with the flow. And she's like, no. And she gets really like weird vibes. And at another point, another person comes up and tries to bite her neck. She was like, honestly, when I felt it, I just like jumped away, and like nobody else seemed to bat an eye. Like it was not weird to them. There were people around the club apparently, like she thought they were making out, but like she said now that she thinks about it, like maybe they were doing something else. But after a little while, she got weirded out. She said she felt sick, and she ended up calling an Uber, going outside, and this person that she's with walks her out to the outside and tells her while she's waiting for her Uber, oh, you're just not ready yet, but don't worry, you'll be back. They always come back. You know, maybe it's not a vampire lair, but it's weird. And I thought it was weird enough to share. So maybe it's just like some kind of weird artsy club. She did say that the people that were inside looked like they were dressed as if they were cosplaying Renaissance paintings. What do you guys think? Secret Society or something else?
So I don't like that, but I also kind of do. You know, I love the Vampire Diaries. So anytime someone tells me that there's a vampire or like alludes to the idea of vampires actually being real, I get a little excited that I'm gonna meet Stefan and Damon Salvatore soon. But nonetheless, I don't like that, because if a celebrity who I knew, like the fact that this girl knew who the actor was that was messaging her, sent me this, that's it. Like I would believe it, because duh, like I don't know, maybe I'm just naive, but why would she just randomly send that just for fun? Like, come on. Also, to be freaking fair, the idea of vampires being real has gone on way long before, honestly, like decades, no, centuries. Like, I just think that there has to be some sort of truth to the lore, and I don't know exactly what it is, but that TikTok kind of scared me. It feels Illuminati-ish, you know? All right, the next theory I want to talk about is something that I find to be really interesting, and it has to do with why schools stopped teaching cursive. So basically in the early 2000s, we were all taught cursive, but I know people who are only like a couple of years younger than me who I've shown something that was like in cursive to them, and they're like, I can't read this, it's in cursive. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't read that? Like, it's so bizarre that they're not like teaching it anymore, at least in a lot of schools. And that's basically having millions of children who do not know how to read or write in cursive. And the theory is that they're doing this so eventually we will not be able to read historical scripts and historical texts that are only in cursive. And I think this is such an interesting concept because, first of all, at least the US government definitely tries to lie about our history quite a bit. Think about what you were taught about Christopher Columbus as a child versus like what you know now. Like, why was that taught in school? Why? Because America loves rewriting its history, and I just think it's so strange that that is like a part of the curriculum, but it is. And I just think that this is such an interesting concept because obviously if we get to a point where nobody knows how to read cursive and it's this like ancient script that like no one knows, it's going to make it so that the government can rewrite our history and there will be no documentation of the prior history that anyone could read. And I think that's an interesting conspiracy theory. It's a little stupid because I still feel like in some places cursive is being taught, and I don't really know if this is the reason why, but there are a lot of foundational documents in US history that are completely written in cursive. Like obviously you could find a lot of them online, but that can probably disappear in some way. I don't know. I just don't like it, and I don't like how much the government wants the school curriculum to lie to us. This has been something I've been like stressed about for kind of a long time. I remember when I learned that Christopher Columbus was like a bad dude, I was shocked and appalled because it's like not how you're taught it in school. And I understand you're teaching to children, but you probably still shouldn't be teaching them lies. Like that's just blatantly lying. And I just think that's kind of nuts. At least I can speak on the American school system, but let me know what you guys think because I thought that was a pretty interesting theory. All right, this next TikTok has been going absolutely viral and I really honestly don't know why. It is the theory that Selena Gomez has been replaced with a lookalike and the real Selena Gomez is being held captive at a Target in Westwood. So it's gonna need some explanation. So this theory went really viral when this dude kind of just like came out on TikTok basically claiming that Selena Gomez is a manager at Target going under the name Karina, and now that people have started to notice that it's her, they are holding her captive in the basement. I just watch.
Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
You see the one today, she's different head. Selena Gomez. She's not the same one.
Oh man, I gotta look into that.
So true Selena Gomez has been working at Target as a manager, been forced to do so since 2020 at the very least.
Oh.
And she was taken, I don't know what year. You'd have to look.
man.
They'll take pictures of the false one when she's younger. So later on, they'll present the false one at a younger age. So you think, oh, well, she was the same one the whole time. No. You gotta watch out for that.
That's wild.
So everyone needs to pick up the phone, call Target, and complain that store manager Karina is no longer allowed to leave the back room, and the employees act like she's not working there when she is working. She's the manager. When corporate comes down, they want to interface with Karina. They made her a manager. Why did they do that? I don't know. So now the employees who are criminal won't let her leave the back room, and that includes the security guards.
So she's stuck at Target then.
She's stuck working at Target as a slave, but now because of my mouth telling people she's Selena Gomez, and at first I was saying in front of her, not knowing she was the Selena Gomez. I started talking about the swap along by and stuff, and she's like way over there with a real serious face, intimidating because she's so serious.
I gotta go
And it was
save her,
her
bro.
the whole time.
I gotta go get her.
So everyone needs to call Target, so Target will force them to bring Selena out of the back room so she can
I'm gonna get her myself.
Well, can you walk in the back room?
I'll get there, bro.
You know what? If you can wear a Target, if you can get a Target employee uniform, you can just walk in the back room.
All right, like obviously I don't think that this is true, but I think it's so funny that this theory has gone as viral as it has because like what? I mean, a lot of people think Selena Gomez looks, sounds, and acts different lately, and I will agree with that. And then also this guy showed a picture of him meeting Selena Gomez at Target, and I'm just like, why was she at Target? Why was she there? Like, you know, I just feel like it's so random. And I don't know if I think that this is true. I just think this is funny, and this guy's probably like a little bonkers. But I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this because I don't know what the hell to think, and I don't know why it's so viral, but it's cracking me up, honestly. All right, the next TikTok I want to talk about is the idea that there are time travelers who are trying to fix 2020, and that's why so much weird shit has been happening. So people have had theories about time travelers forever. It's what people believe is the truth behind the Mandela effect. There's so many different aspects of this, but like again, for like a century people have wondered if time travel will become a possibility. And the conspiracy theory that's swirling around right now on TikTok is the idea that there are a bunch of time travelers traveling back to 2020 so that they can try and fix 2025 and the future, and obviously like reverse COVID. But what's interesting is that there was kind of like proof of a time traveler, and it's like actually pretty scary. You have to see it to believe it.
Have an update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared. And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap, this guy walks around my backyard goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside, and disappears. Called the cops came, they went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. I looked like an insane guy. The cops are like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard, and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe, glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy. He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him. Same facial features, whiter hair. So I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before. There was no movement that whole night. Then the next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my mind.
I really hate that. Honestly, no. Like, so much no, I can't even, whatever. Like, I don't have another explanation for that other than that there's like maybe, which sounds even crazier because I'm sure he's looked for it, like some sort of secret passage where the guy was able to get out and the new guy was able to come in. But like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, honestly, it doesn't make sense. But a lot of people believe that this is proof of a time traveler. Girl, I don't even know what I think it's proof of, but it's proof of something that I actually don't want to know the answer to. Like, if this happened to me, I would feel legit insane scrolling through the Ring camera footage trying to see when the guy left and when the gray hair guy entered. And the fact that that doesn't exist, I don't like it. And like the fact that the guy didn't leave and the cops couldn't even find him, like, no. I really want to know if you believe in time travel, because at this point I kind of think it's true. I truly do. I don't know, sorry. I just feel like to an extent I think it explains the Mandela effect because of like the whole butterfly effect. I just kind of believe it, but let me know your thoughts. All right, the next theory I want to talk about is the fact that our phones are always listening to us. This has been scaring the hell out of me lately because I was meeting my friend's mom. Like, we got in the car and we were just like, wow, her mom was so pretty. My girlfriend was like, yeah, she looks like, her face looks like Christy Brinkley. And I was like, who the hell is that? I didn't Google her. I didn't do anything. My girlfriend Googled her on her phone and showed me who she was, I think. I honestly don't even think she Googled and showed me. She was just like, oh, she is a supermodel. A day goes by. I'm scrolling TikTok and the fucking TikTok of Christy Brinkley and her daughter shows up on my free page. I didn't even know it was Christy Brinkley until I read the comments. Like, how have I never heard of this woman in my life? And you might be like, how have you never heard of that woman in your life? But regardless, I've never heard of her. And then all of a sudden she's showing up on my TikTok. And I feel like this keeps happening. Like, genuinely, that stuff happens to me all the fucking time and I don't know what it is, and I'm scared. I do feel like to an extent our phones are listening to us for algorithm purposes, for maybe like surveillance purposes. Who the hell knows? But I just kind of like to ignore it. It's a theory that I know is probably true and I just don't want to know. It's something that feels like ignorance is bliss, you know? All right, the next TikTok I want to talk about has to do with the whole Miami Mall incident. I don't know what the hell happened that day at the Miami Mall, but I will say something is not as it seems, for sure. But I saw this girl's TikTok talking about it and honestly it scared the hell out of me.
I was at the Bayside Park alien invasion thing as it was happening at Bubba Gump, ordering shrimp, kicked my chair out because everybody was screaming and running from God knows what, but I conformed and started fucking running. Ran to my boyfriend at the time's apartment, taking videos of what happened, sending it to my boss. My boss couldn't really depict what the fuck was happening because it was so pixelated and so small. And then days later, try and go back and find the videos. I can't find them on my phone. Months go by. I can't find the videos on my phone. Randomly, like a month and a half ago, I'm like scrolling through my camera roll trying to find something. I find the videos with a different time stamp, a different date, different everything from when the initial event happened. Of course, I'm not like recording like me screaming and running, fighting for my life, but I'm recording seconds, minutes after from a balcony, like of all the cop cars below. At the time, we were checking the Citizens app, checking Reddit, checking the news, checking Facebook. Nothing is reporting on what the fuck is happening. And then it's like, oh, some teens were in a fight. No, nobody was screaming and running like that if there were teens in a fight. I didn't hear gunshots. I was there, and I conformed and just started running with the fucking masses of people that were running and screaming for their lives. Yeah, I'm gonna attach the videos right now. They're coming from everywhere. This has been going on for a while.
This is crazy.
This is not good. Should we, like, go?
I've like never seen no place ever. How do we find out?
Turn the news on?
The amount of cop cars that there are do not equate to teenagers like in a fight. I don't care. I don't like why. I don't know if there were actually aliens. I don't know what the hell happened there that day, but I will say for sure it's not what it seems. I want to know if, honestly, is there any of you guys who know someone who was there, or were you there yourselves? Because what the hell actually happened? Like the fact that there was no weapons involved, like nothing crazy, like there wasn't a shooting. Why were there so many fucking cops there? Like responding to like a dispute between teenagers? Like that makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't know, and I don't like it. I don't like that this girl says that her freaking camera roll was scrubbed and wiped. No, like I don't know what the hell, but I don't like it. All right, the next theory that I've seen going viral on TikTok lately is the idea that Ozzy Osbourne transferred his soul to Youngblood, and it's honestly kind of a more popular theory than I expected. So obviously recently Ozzy passed away at the age of 76 years old, and since then there's been an explosion of TikToks correlating him to Youngblood. So Youngblood is a singer, rocker, I don't know. But people believe that he has inherited the Prince of Darkness's spirit. And there's pretty good reason as to why people think this. So for one, Ozzy's final concert, there are a lot of people believe that this really was his goodbye, not just from the spotlight, but from obviously life. And Youngblood was like quite involved with this. Like there's theories that Ozzy like put his hand right on Youngblood's forehead, like activating his third eye. Youngblood also performed the song Changes at Ozzy's final concert, and that song was deeply associated with Ozzy's legacy, and singing it kind of felt like it was passing the torch on to Youngblood. Also, apparently there was a cross that was exchanged that Ozzy gave Youngblood as a gift. And also before, like well before Ozzy had died, Sharon Osbourne herself was reportedly saying how alike Ozzy and Youngblood were. Like they were, like she always said that they were basically like the same person, and referred to their chemistry as cosmic. So many people now believe the theory that Ozzy Osbourne was kind of passing the torch onto Youngblood, but like not so metaphorically and in the sense of a ritualistic Illuminati type of behavior. And I don't know if I believe that, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because I swear I don't know why Youngblood is all over my freaking FYP, but he never was before. That's all I'll say. All right, the next TikTok I saw pointed out such an interesting and important conspiracy theory that's honestly like, it's not even a conspiracy theory. The conspiracy of it is just why.
So isn't it funny that the pew pew of the Orange Man last year has no information on the internet, completely scrubbed? Do you even know his name? I don't know his name. You'd think he'd be pretty infamous, right? And isn't it funny how the man that pew pew, the CEO last week, also has no information on the internet and technically was actually reported missing in 2018 by his family? Isn't that weird? Or all these people have no internet history, are complete ghosts, and then do these things, and yet their names are not being thrown around the press all over the place? Like, we don't even know their names. Isn't that weird? You know what is also weird? Remember the people at the Coldplay concert? Remember them? We know about their whole lives. We ruined their lives. We know more information about them than we do these last two pew-pewers. That's weird.
I have to agree. I do think that this concept is extremely strange, especially when you look at Luigi Mangione. He literally like became an entire meme. Like everyone knew his name, everyone knew who he was. He was the person that killed the CEO of United Healthcare. And yet I don't even know the name of the person who shot the president. Like, he literally shot the president. I mean, grazed his ear, obviously, but still, like, why don't we know that? You know what I mean? Like, I just think that's so weird, and I don't really know what the explanation here is or what the conspiracy is behind it, but I just think it's strange. And it does feel like they're trying to probably cover something up. I said that about the attempted assassination of Trump before, that I just, something about it just never sat right with me, and I do think that it's weird that, like, no one is obsessed with this dude's history. I literally don't even know his name. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this because I don't know exactly what it could be, but I found it interesting. All right, the next TikTok I saw was none other than Jack Black talking kind of about the Illuminati and kind of about the clone theory that we talked about earlier.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart were already attached, and I was like, these characters are jumping off the page. And my role, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the most popular girl in high school. For some reason, I know how to play that. And then it was such a hit. It was way bigger than I even anticipated. And now, I think we're going to make part 2. I think you have to. I think you, like, have to. They kill you if you try to walk away, and they clone you.
A lot of people obviously are gonna probably write that off as a joke. Jack Black's obviously a funny guy, but Jack Black also is somebody who I feel like tries to kind of stay away from like the Hollywood side of the industry as much as he can while still quite literally being involved in it. But like, he goes for like normal walks around his neighborhood. Like, there's videos of him just like existing way more normally than like some of these celebrities who you just never see out and about. And I do think that, you know, he could have been nodding to this Illuminati kind of conspiracy theory that if you don't want to work anymore, they'll kill you and clone you. And I think that this could be true. I don't like that I say that because it sounds like such a like, oh, tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but at this point there's a lot of proof. Like, I don't know what to say. All right, the next theory has to do with the beauty industry and how it's a scam, and I kind of 100,000% believe this. So this TikToker I like who does hair talked about how, you know, sulfate free shampoo and like silicone free shampoos are actually a scam, and they make your hair worse, therefore needing more moisturizing products. It's become this whole conspiracy theory that sulfates and silicones are so bad for your hair, and the reason is because of marketing and because they want you to think it's bad, so then you use it, it makes your hair worse, and you need their other products to moisturize and condition your hair. And I think this is true well beyond just shampoo and conditioner. I think this could be the same for skincare, for makeup. I've always said, what if makeup companies and skincare companies are in cahoots and makeup makes your skin worse, so then people need to buy skincare to get rid of the acne, but then the skincare also doesn't work, so then people use makeup to cover up their acne. I think it's like a consumerism like pyramid, and I kind of think it's 100% true, allegedly. At least parts of it have to be true because it's such a scam. Like, so many different things, like being like, you have to only eat like this non-GMO, like so many different aspects of those like fads of like things that you shouldn't have in your shampoo, conditioner, food, or whatever. 99% of the time it's like not real. Like aluminum free deodorant, not a thing. My sister's a doctor. It's fine. You're fine. Use the aluminum deodorant, please. All right, the last TikTok I want to talk about is this girl made a conspiracy video about Chris Appleton, who is a very popular celebrity hairstylist who actually does some of the worst hair colorings I've ever seen. Like, people's hair looks so damaged. People claim that their hair got so much healthier after they stopped going to this man, and it makes you wonder how the hell this guy is still in business charging these celebrities hundreds of thousands of dollars. How? And the theory is that Chris Appleton has seen too many things of different various celebrities, but specifically Kim Kardashian, while he was styling her hair. Maybe saw some personal information on her phone, or just heard her and her family talking, and she's been being blackmailed by him ever since to keep using him, even though his hairstyling is not that great. I don't know, I just thought this theory was honestly hilarious, and I think it could be true in a lot of senses. Like, I'm sure celebrities get blackmailed all the freaking time because people be opening their mouths when around the wrong people. It just happens. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these theories, and again, tag me on TikTok if you have any other conspiracy theories that you want me to talk about next time. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe to new videos every week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.